Blog Talk Radio.
Are you ready to take a bite out of the competition? Are you looking for ideas to make your business better? Welcome to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. At the core of every successful business, you'll find people making a difference. And with each episode of the Core Business Show, we talk with those people, examine those ideas, and explore the strategies that make them special. Now, the host of the Core Business Show, Tim Jacquet.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Today, we're going to talk about what you need to know about federal grants or grants in general. If you have a question, go ahead and post it in the chat room. It's a short episode, and it's going to be a powerful three-point episode that you really need to know anything about federal grants. In a nutshell, a federal grant is money, basically, it's financial assistance that's given out from federal agencies. It can be agencies, profit or nonprofit businesses as well. So it don't have to be a federal agency. It can be a federal agency, it can be a state agency, or it can be a nonprofit itself, or also it can be a commercial enterprise can give a grant as well for a certain project. Namely, federal grants really will be the whole gamut. There are categorical type grants that they give. Categorical means a categorical grant think of it being a narrow proposal for a particular project. Also, there are block grants, which would be for community focus. And then there's also earmark grants, maybe for grain or agriculture or whatever. They earmark for certain projects. Those are on the federal level. State levels have similar programs. Also, if you check with any large organization, companies, Fortune 500 companies, they actually give out grants as well. And also nonprofits give out grants because they're given grants to do a certain project, and from there, they give it out to the recipients or go through a process for the recipients. We're going to take a break real quick, and we'll be back in a moment to talk a little bit more about the grants. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. You listen to the Core Business Show.
You're listening to the Core Business Show, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. Apple Capital Group in Jacksonville, Florida, is a commercial lender that specializes in asset-based loans, equipment leasing and financing, invoice financing, commercial real estate loans, and asset-based financing in the U.S. and Canada. Apple Capital Group is a direct lender that lends on their private equity investment portfolio. 90% of most loans are decided within 2 hours, and vendor funding within 24 hours after documents are completed, with a one-page application. No slow no's, just a quick decision and a fast yes. To get more information about lending from Apple Capital Group, call 866-611-7457. That's 866-611-7457 to speak with one of our loan specialists. Or visit us right now at applecapitalgroup.com. Welcome back to the Core. Once again, here's Tim Jacquet.
Welcome back to the program. So again, we identified 4 agencies that normally give out grants: the federal government, the state government, commercial enterprises like IBM, Goldman Sachs have a program that they also give out as well. With the 10,000 Business, American Express, they all have those type of programs. You have to look on the website. And number 4, you have nonprofit that gives out these particular grants as well. So here's what you really need to do, and organization-wise, to get the grant. You must be incorporated. You must have a tax ID number. So incorporated, this means you have to be nonprofit charter incorporated in your state. Okay? It doesn't cost that much, maybe $10 to $25 to be incorporated in your state as a nonprofit. Number 2, you must have an employer identification number from the federal government, which is the IRS. You can apply online. You get that within 5 minutes. Number 3, you need to have a website with your domain name to brand who you are, to add credibility. You need at least 5 pages to say exactly who you are, resumes of your board of directors, say, who, what, when, and how, and what you do. Real basic, make it thorough, make it concise, and get to the point. You must have a bank account. It has a commercial bank account. You must have a board of directors as well. Also, here's another step that you need to go beyond that. Once you have those things done, typically these things can be done within 1 day. You need to also apply for your DUNS number. Your DUNS number is going to tie your organization into a database for the federal government. So once you have your DUNS number, then you can list yourself on CDR as a contractor, and that makes you qualify for apply for grants. So ccr.gov is the contractor's website that payments are made through. So you have to have yourself a DUNS number first, which takes 24 hours. But when you do that, don't apply for a regular business. Apply as a government contractor. You get your number right away within the same day or the next day. Then you go to CCR. CCR takes a few days to go through their system and for you to put your information in. And then it comes out with your number. From there, you want to also make a capability statement page. You can look at Apple Capital's group capability statement, and that kind of give you a format, what you really need to do for a capability statement. It tells who the officers are, how to contact you, what SIN numbers that you're going to be selling to the government. Okay, so they know how to categorize you. And you can also look on federal BidSops or FBO.gov for grants as well. And also there's another grant part of that with CCR, and it tells you exactly where you need to go to see what the federal grants are. So that's your organization structure that you need to have in place. When you have all these things done, then you look for your grants. And I would say you need to be real specific on what you're applying for. And you keep that focus regardless, whatever you do. This is what you need to focus on. Do not focus on everything across the board. If you're doing small business development, do small business development that caters to market, to whatever it is. Make it one thing that you're going to focus on and gear towards that one thing. Do not spread yourself thin because you will not win anything. They're looking for people that specialize in that particular field. And then you can go and market yourself that you specialize in this particular field. You want to have credible board of directors, but be very careful on your board of directors because they can vote you off because you don't own the corporation. You actually is owned by the public. Now, once you have all those things in place, but one thing I failed to mention is your tax exemption status for the state and for the federal government. For the state, just go to your controller's office. They will give you the form that you need to fill out to be recognized. Sometimes it's just a blank form. Sometimes you need to actually file for that particular status in the state, and it doesn't really take that long. And it's usually free. It's not at the federal government you have to actually pay for all the paperwork involved because they're giving you a certain status. So in the state level, some would just be a regular form. Like in Texas, you can do the form. If you want to go to another step of the process, you can actually apply for tax exemption status to be on all state information. Number two, you will also need to join a nonprofit organization that specializes in your fields to make you more credible. I know you don't have much money, but you maybe can make some arrangements with a nonprofit association. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. We don't have much money. See what you can work out with them. Sometimes they will help you out in a sense until you actually get some income to pay for it, or give you a reduced status. Hey, our membership dues is $250, but we'll give it to you for $50. The other part of this, back in your organization structure, is the IRS exemption, which is really important. It's a lot of paperwork, but this is what you really need to be tax exempt from the federal government, and you be recognized through every company so they can donate you, and those contributions can be tax exempt. However, the Form 501c are in the different stages of those. It depends on what organization structure you fall into. Can cost you a couple $100 for the application, but it's a lot of paperwork and it takes a little time to get you established. It can take up to 90 days if it's done correctly. Make sure you thoroughly fill everything out completely, and something don't apply. Make sure you acknowledge that you read that statement and click no. Okay? Here's the 6 organizations that will fall in: a charitable organization or church religious education, a church or religious organization, a local organization, a private foundation, other nonprofits that don't feel that fits that model, and also contributors. You can find us on irs.gov/charities which is hyphen and non-profits/exempt-organizations-forms-and-instructions. But if you just type in exempt organization forms, you have it there. Now I'm going to go to Form 1023, which is the basic one, and that's the 501c3 form. If you click that, real simple, it gives you all the information you need to know. It gives you the forms that you need to fill out, and you pretty much can go from there, from that information, read it. And also, if you go to a certain organization like SCORE, they can help you out as well, help you fill this out for pretty much free. Other agencies, once you have the instructions done, that organization structure done, look at corporations and our nonprofit, look at federal government and see how to apply for that. But you really might want to make a contract, depending on your cause. Find out people that specialize in this, that does it on a full-time basis, like development officers at colleges and universities, and see if you can team with them. SCORE can help direct you to some people that does this all the time. Also, here's some more information you can kind of grab from SCORE if you need it. If you go to www.sba.gov/services/financial assistance/grants/index.tml. That's a service you can take a look at. Number 3, you can go for tech. You have for every state, www.governor.state.tx.us/divisions with an S/state grants. Okay. For the state ID number, if you need it to register your nonprofit, on the tax end of it is www.window.state.tx.us/index.html. And the last one you can go to is www.gpoaccess.gov/topics/grants.tml. I'll put this up on the website as well for you. Lastly, I want you to go take a look at, if you're in Texas, there's a place called the Funding Information Center for nonprofits. Take a look at that. They also would be a source of help. Again, SCORE and this organization would be more than happy to help you handle your paperwork, and is up to you with your passion and energy to your nonprofit organization to life. I hope all this information helps. Again, that's what you really need to know about grants. Again, I'm going to put this on the Core Business Show website probably in about 10 minutes. Some highlights of this episode. Thank you all for listening. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Happy to always help. You can always give us a call at the Core Business Show. The number is 855-635-3300. My extension is 130 with Apple Capital Group. Thank you for listening. Everybody have a great day. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet. For more information about equipment financing and asset-based loans, visit our website, applecapitalgroup.com. That's applecapitalgroup.com. Or call us at 866-611-7457. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. And remember, you can always get to the core via iTunes. You'll find all our previous episodes there. And thanks again for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet.